Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe SI-Interview und heute habe ich jetzt eine Goldmine dabei, die heißen sogar schon aus GoldMining Inc. Alastair Still, er ist CEO bei der Firma und ja, ich habe nicht zu viel Ahnung von der Firma, aber das wird sich hoffentlich in den nächsten 10 bis 15 Minuten ändern. Alastair, thank you for your time. I guess you are in the gold mining industry from the name. And not looking for other commodities than at the moment the most favorite commodity is lithium. Everybody looks for lithium, but I guess from your name it's clear that you are looking for gold.
Well, we certainly are focused on gold, and pleasure to be here and tell you a little about our story. Our inventory actually does have some significant exposure to copper as well. Copper often occurs as a significant element. It's very strategic in this current environment. About 20% of the value of our commodity exposure is to copper, although we are very much focused on gold.
Yeah. But gold and silver is always coming sometimes with the ore. That's natural. That has nothing to do. But your focus is not on copper. It's on gold.
Yeah, very much focused on gold, and the copper occurs as a secondary metal in the same deposits. Yes.
Yeah. So and that's good. Then it's always a bonus to have it. So please tell us a little bit more about your company. I said in the slide that you have a very huge project. So 16 million, more than 16 million you have measured and indicated resources. So that's really huge. So do you have this in different mines, or is it concentrated on a few one?
That's a great question, and we do a very diverse portfolio. We have some 11 projects that make up our resource base. There's over 16 million gold equivalent ounces measured and indicated, and a further 16 million gold equivalent ounces in the inferred category. So a very extensive portfolio. We're located with projects entirely in the Americas. We're in 5 countries: the United States, Canada, Colombia, Brazil, and Peru. All solid mining jurisdictions, all with a focus on gold, but with some significant copper exposure as well. We have approximately 2.7 billion pounds of copper within our projects as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And as you say, copper is a very strategic metals, especially in this energy transferring process, what we are. But what is now? You have one or two interesting slides also in your presentation. One of the slides, sorry, that I must change my question now, is that on slide 6 you say the total gold reserve on selected companies going down dramatically the last 10 years. So that means from the existing production companies, what they have on reserve going dramatically down. So that's mean they must looking for new gold deposits you're getting new reserves. Is this
exactly? Our projects are at the resource stage and pre-development stage. So earlier stage, they're very advanced in terms of defining what they are. What we have shown over the last 10 years or so, the major operating companies, the gold producers, they have not been able to replace through exploration what they have been mining. So we've seen about a 40% decline in global reserves from the producing companies. What that means is to meet their production profiles going forward, they need to supplement their pipeline of projects. That makes the projects in our portfolio very much sought after. These are quality projects the majors and the producers will need to fill in the holes in their pipeline. The producers could shift to exploration mode, but exploration takes time. It can take years to find something, and then development and put it to production take many more years. So the best way for them to replace their pipeline could be projects, and our projects are ideally suited to fill the demands coming up in the future.
And I think this is in natural in the resource business that explorer looking for a project, find something, bring it to a certain stage, and then the producers coming in and buy this project. So that's save time and risk for both sides. The production companies not taking the risk to find something and lose not too much time to looking for something, and the exploration companies, they are for sure, if they find something and can sell it, they have a higher margin, higher percentage gain for sure, that's clear, but they take the risk and to do this. So that's nature in the business. But what makes you different from your exploration company to other ones?
Well, I guess what makes us different is that we're not a pure exploration company. We have some unique assets that make us ideally suited to be a growth vehicle, and we've performed exceptionally well over time because we have such a high leverage to the price of gold. We've shown that during the last two gold cycles, in 2016 and 2020, when the price of gold rose between 30 to 50%, relative speaking, the price of GoldMining Inc. shares rose over 500% and 400% respectively. So we outperform the price of gold. And why is that? It's because we're highly leveraged to the price of gold. We have an extensive portfolio. They're in good, solid jurisdictions. And we also have an incredible amount of optionality. Just 18 months ago, we were launched a new company called Gold Royalty Corporation. That company was created by writing royalties on assets in our portfolio, spinning it out through an IPO, a public launch. It raised $90 million in the New York Stock Exchange, which was a validation of the underlying assets, which were our assets. And in return, we're now the largest shareholder in Gold Royalty Corp. We have over 21 million shares. That adds an incredible strength to our balance sheet. Most junior explorers don't have the balance sheet we have, and that's why we're different. We have an exceptional balance sheet, we have strong assets, and we have a strong management team. And the success that we had by creating Gold Royalty Corp is a model that we can use going forward. Those shares that we have in Gold Royalty Corp, they now pay us a dividend. So we're receiving dividend income of close to $1 million per year at current rates. We can see that rate rising as Gold Royalty continues to grow. But it's a great base model for our next IPO. And we plan to do an IPO in the coming year by taking our wholly owned subsidiary project, our Whistler project in Alaska, in the United States, and putting that into a new vehicle called US GoldMining Inc. And that will be to take a very large gold and copper project in the United States. This is a rare project. This is exactly what the US market is looking for. A large project, near infrastructure, with great exploration potential. I'm very excited by it. It'll be an exciting project to move forward as a separate vehicle in the new year, which when we launch that, GoldMining Inc. will become the largest shareholder of the new planned public traded entity.
Very interesting strategy. When I'm a shareholder of GoldMining, I'm not so far a shareholder, but maybe.
That's true.
As a shareholder, get I also some shares of maybe the new company, or you get only the shares and I'm through your vehicle, I'm also part of the new company?
Yeah, that's our model. That's what worked well for us with the creation of Gold Royalty Corp last year. Those shares will come into the hands of GoldMining as the parent company, will be the largest shareholder. The shareholders of GoldMining will benefit as we add that value to our balance sheet and continue to grow into the next successive launch of companies. So it's a great model where we add to our balance sheet, we add to our strength. It in turn leads to our next projects, and we keep growing and realizing more value from the assets we have in the portfolio.
Exploration means always that you need also cash to do exploration. I see now that you have around 4 million cash. Okay, you get dividend for Gold Royalty and so on, but when you do your last private placement round, that's the first question. The second is, when you need a new financing in the few months or so?
We have no plans for financing. In fact, our last public financing, I think, was in 2016. So we've been very efficient with our capital. We have not had big exploration programs in the past. Just this past summer, we've launched our first drill campaign. We did a small drill program in one of our key projects in Colombia. And in that drill program, we made a new discovery. We've made a discovery on our La Garucha target, which is part of La Mina. We have a significant discovery there of gold and copper. We're currently calculating a new resource estimate on that right now. That new resource estimate will be launched in the new year. That's a great addition. We've created value there. We have access to, as you say, we have a dividend stream coming in. We have an ATM facility. We've realized some money for that. But the other model we have is that because we have such an extensive portfolio, we continue to explore opportunities for new partnerships, new joint ventures, new option agreements. And just this past June, we took one of our smaller projects, our Almaden project, which is located in Idaho in the United States. We optioned that out to a company called NevGold, a public traded company who is exploring nearby in Nevada. And in return for that, we received a total consideration of $16.5 million. Most of that consideration came in an initial share payment, and there are a series of staged payments to come up and some milestone payments as they achieve success. The beauty for GoldMining in that scenario was we'd only purchased that project 2 years prior. We purchased it for about $1 million. So to realize value of $16.5 million, most of that is paid as equity in new companies who are now the largest shareholder of NevGold. We have over 10% of the shares in that company. And as they spend their capital, their dollars, advance the project, we in turn, as GoldMining and the GoldMining shareholders, benefit because the shares we hold in NevGold will increase in value as they continue to have exploration success. So we're using other people's capital, other people's money to advance some of our projects so we can keep our own balance sheet clean and available for advancing our core projects.
Okay, very interesting. A model is kind of so like not really like a royalty company, but you option some of your projects out to other ones. They do the work, you get the interest in, and they spend the money there, and so you keep your money safe. So you say the last capital round was 2016.
I believe it was, yes. Last public financing.
That's okay. That's a very long time and very unusual for this sector. Normally, over 6 months, they're coming and ask for money in the market. That's the reason why the share price normally then drops dramatically down. Then the market maker makes their game that they short the stock before down and then make the cheap stock. So that's good to know. I have another chart, and I look. I have only a 5-year chart. And it's amazing what your share performance was between 2019 and July 2020. So you going up like 5 times, no 6 times, 7 times. That's unbelievable. So, but now you're coming back also again. And when I look at the gold price, okay, the gold price not going down like. Not so going down so much, and also we see now a gold price they're going up $160 in the last week, and your price is not really reacting.
Yeah, I would think in the general gold equity space, the prices have been relatively stable now for the last couple of months, but over the last year or so, there's been a general decline. So we've largely followed the market there. But that graph that you speak to in the sharp rise in our price in 2020, I think really speaks to the potential for our stock once the gold price really does start to move forward. And the small gains we've made over the last few weeks, I think are really small compared to where gold can move to. And because of that leverage to our large resource base, we have outperformed the gold price once the price starts to rise. The other important piece of that story in the 2020 chart was that during that period, we also announced the creation of Gold Royalty Corp. The market really caught on to that. They saw the value that we'd created there. They saw the value we added to our balance sheet. That's why we think that's a great model for our plans to launch U.S. GoldMining Inc. in the new year on a terrific project of gold and copper in Alaska which is just feeding into a frenzy where people want projects in the US right now. That's why it'll be a US listed company with a US based asset and a US domicile entity. So it ticks a lot of the boxes on a great sizable entity with some real exploration potential. It gets me very excited when I go to the property to look at it and look at the drill holes and the planned work we have coming up.
Alastair, thank you for your time. I think it was really a great start interview. Hopefully we have time to can do this again. Maybe around when the IPO is coming from the US part, or the how is called the Whistler.
Whistler project with US GoldMining Inc. will be the entity, and I look forward to providing updates. We have a new resource update on our Lamina project coming up early in the new year as a plan for that. Stay tuned for the public launch of US GoldMining Inc. It should be a very exciting period. We're poised and we're excited for the opportunities ahead.
Now, very interesting. I must really say also the structure that you don't have any private placements. That's a big problem. What I have sometimes with these exploration companies, every 6 months coming and you have a lot of warrants outstanding. They have different prices and so on, and this makes it difficult. Then we know exactly the market maker in Canada, and they make their game. And this is normally not the game what the European investor looks like for. So it's very unusual. And you do really a great job. Then you have no warrants outside. You have only options, and this is clear. That's from the for the company, for the directors and employees. That's great. It's very interesting, smart move, interesting structure. But you don't plan to sell any gold royalty stock or something at the moment?
We're very much long holders in that stock. It's been a great vehicle to put onto our balance sheet. We have a lot of faith in that company as it grows. There's potential for the dividend to increase. We have a long-term holding there. We enjoy being a 15% largest shareholder in that company. It's a great growth vehicle within GoldMining.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Make now a short summary in German. Das ist eigentlich, am Anfang habe ich gedacht, Gold-Exploration. Sie wissen meine Einstellung zur Gold-Exploration mit den ganzen Private Placements und so, und da bin ich nicht unbedingt der Fan davon. Was allerdings am Anfang schon sehr beeindruckend ist, 16,2 Millionen Unzen Measured and Indicated und 16,2 Millionen Unzen Inferred Resources. Das ist eine extrem große Anzahl. Deswegen war meine erste Frage, ist das ein Projekt oder sind das mehrere Projekte? Und es sind mehrere Projekte, es haben es auf mehrere Projekte verteilt. Sie sind in 5 Ländern aktiv. Man sieht es hier, das ist vor allem Brasilien, das ist Nordamerika natürlich, Kanada und USA. Und was allerdings extrem spannend ist, sind ein paar interessante Slides drinnen, also zum Beispiel dieser Rückgang an Reserven der großen 10 war mir nicht so bewusst, dass ein Rückgang ist schon, aber dass das so dramatisch nach unten ging, habe ich nicht gewusst. Aber was ich auch nicht gewusst ist, Sie waren quasi der Initiator des Spin-off von Gold Royalty, und das ist ganz spannend. Bitte schauen Sie sich mal ein anderes Interview an, das ist echt eine interessante Geschichte. Sie kriegen da über $1 Million auch an Kapital jedes Jahr. Sie haben 21 Millionen Aktien davon. Was auch spannend ist, das letzte Private Placement war 2016, also darum, das ist unglaublich. Das ist für Explorationscompany eigentlich der Wahnsinn. Was für ein Modell laufen Sie oder machen Sie? Sie veroptionieren es großteils. Also Sie haben wahnsinnig viele Projekte, Sie optionieren das und er hat ein Beispiel genommen, wo sie jetzt einer der größten Aktionäre sind dieses Unternehmens. Da haben sie eine Option vergeben. Die Lizenz haben sie die Option haben sie für 16 Millionen hergegeben. 2 Jahre zuvor haben sie das Projekt gekauft für 1 Million. Sie haben 4 Millionen Cash. Das klingt nicht noch viel, aber wie gesagt, sie gehen sehr vorsichtig mit dem Kapital um und das sieht man auch. Und was ein Wahnsinn ist, wie die Aktie reagiert auf den Goldpreis, wenn man sich den 5-Jahres-Chart anschaut, von 2019 bis Mitte 2020. Da sieht man den Riesenhebel. Er sagt, da hat natürlich auch was mitgespielt, dass Gold Royalty an die Börse gegangen ist. Also sie ist ein Spin-off quasi war und sie dort der größte Aktionär jetzt sind. Aber die Dynamik ist schon ein Wahnsinn. Und deswegen, das ist keine typische Gold-Explorations-Company. Was jetzt spannend macht, ist, sie dann ein Whistler-Projekt in US Gold ausspalten, wie genau bei Gold Royalty. Das heißt, sie werden dann dort wahrscheinlich der größte Aktionär sein, haben dann Aktien drinnen und heben damit einen Wert des Unternehmens. Das ist extrem wichtig, weil so ein Einzelunternehmen, also in diesem Konglomerat von vielen Projekten fällt das eine Projekt nicht auf. Aber wenn es selber notiert ist, dann hat es natürlich einen wahnsinnigen Wert. Und man sieht es hier, die Marktkapitalisierung war ungefähr damals zu dem Zeitpunkt, wo es gemacht worden ist, das ist vor ein paar Tagen gemacht worden, 194 Millionen und Gold Royalty hat 80 Millionen davor ausgemacht. Da sieht man, was eigentlich so ein Spin-off ausmachen kann und das wird extrem spannend sein jetzt bei diesem neuen. Das heißt, ich als Aktionär kriege nicht unbedingt Aktien, das will ich nicht sagen, sondern es ist so, dass die Firma die Aktien dann hält und dort quasi profitiert davon, wenn der Wert natürlich steigt. Also hier könnte sich was anbahnen, dass wir hier einen Wert heben und dann sind diese 1,19, 1,16, 1,10, wo wir jetzt rum sind, dann vorbei. Spannende Geschichte, muss ich mir wirklich anschauen und der Chart ist schon beeindruckend. Alistair, thank you for your time. Good luck with the IPO. I hope it will be a great one. The environment looks good. Gold price going up, copper price looks going better. So I think we are running now in a better time. And special between November and March is always normally a good window for resource stocks. Good luck with them. Keep us informed, and hopefully we have time, and then we do a next interview close to these dates from the IPO or a new resource estimation from some other projects.
Yeah, pleasure to have been here today, and I look forward to providing updates in the new year.
Perfect. Thank you. Have a good day, and have a good road trip around Europe and find new investors. But not too early, then first I must invest, sorry.